All right, what is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend as usual. We are live here Monday, last Monday of August, which is crazy. There are 4 months left in the year. Um, Man, this year has gone by so freaking quick. Um, so I know a lot of you are probably feeling that too. But also, it's been an interesting year, I think, for sales and sellers and, generative AI and all these things, coming into the game. It's going to continue to get even more different. B2B sales has been the same for a long time. And so I think we're going to continue to see change and, be adaptable. That's obviously why you're here. So, all right. So I am going to, let me pull up LinkedIn real quick so I can see your comments, which is great. Where I got a bunch of people jumping in already. We had this a lot of people sharing this one out, which is awesome. A lot of sales leaders. Um, we got Bruce here, Sam. What's going on? As usual, the thing that sucks about these lives, I'll tell you, is I have no clue who is here. So do me a favor, just drop in the comments. It doesn't show. It doesn't show me. Um, in the network, it only shows in the networking, which just doesn't make a ton of sense. It only shows the people that RSVP'd, not any of you that are like just joining us live. So make sure to drop in the comments just where you're joining from. We usually have a super crazy audience from Kenya, Australia, Poland, you name it, London, etc. So drop your name so I can know who's here. Appreciate all of you joining me. Today is going to be one that I think a lot of people are going to go back and reference like over and over and over again. Everything that I'm going to tell you today around leveraging generative AI is going to be just as applicable to you. If you're a seller right now, or you're a CEO or anybody, you're going to be able to take these insights and almost like immediately apply them to your business. So um, I'm excited for this one. And if you haven't, let me see if I got the link for the last couple that we did. Yeah, we do. See, it's like I seriously, Becca on my marketing team, she's just like, we're just like here. She already knows now. She's like, Jake's going to want to talk about this. We got Randy from Boston's in the house. What's going on, Randy? Thanks for joining us. We've got Heidi from Stockholm. There we go. See, Sweden's in the house. If you did not, I'm going to go ahead and drop a couple of links in here. If you all didn't get a chance to check out last Monday and the Monday before, where we did SDR use case, AE use case, and now we're going to do managers today. I really think these 3 sessions combined, like I think we'll definitely turn these into some type of like webinar workshop type deal because I just feel like the content is so tactical that if you're somebody who's like, Jake, I use ChatGPT already every day, great. And what I find, the issue I find with a lot of people I'll talk to that use ChatGPT every day, is you kind of start to get in the zone of the way that you're using it, kind of like, oh, I learned how to use it this way and I kind of use it this way. What I'm going to teach all of you today is how to start to expand your use cases, because ChatGPT for all my leaders out there, ChatGPT should be the place that you go for everything, right? It's and I tell my team this, and I've got many of my team members who now preach this, which is you put a little sticky note up that says go to ChatGPT, right, instead of go to Google, because what it will end up helping you with is so much more than you can fathom. And if you haven't had a chance to check out these use cases that I just dropped, definitely go check them out because they were really, really good. So, all right. So this is kind of the last session, around this series where I'm kind of talking to you about the different use cases. Um, as usual, okay, if you are somebody who is interested, we've got a couple different things that you should be checking out. One is our ChatGPT workshops. So we've got a 101, a 201, and a 301. I think they're like, I don't even know how much money they are. They're not that expensive though. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. Yeah, here we go. I'll drop this in here. I know they're in the workshops. Here we go. Boom. I know she had them in here. So if you're somebody who's like, I'm ready to take this to the next level, join one of these workshops. Like, team has put together some really badass content here. So if you haven't, sign up, because we also are doing some other things in the community, in the innovative seller community. If you haven't signed up there, make sure to do that. So, all right, let's get into it. We're going to talk prompting for managers, right? So I'm going to talk about the different use cases for managers that can get involved. I think Becca, did she make a sheet? Made a sheet. Of course she did. All right, so this will be a big one for you. Make sure, my friends, to pull this sheet up. If you're just listening, don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you about the prompts out loud too. But if you want to follow along with the prompts, here is the link. Boom. So if you want it and you're like, hey, Jake, what was that prompt again? Don't worry, our marketing team already has you covered. They've already thought through this for you. So you should be good to go. All right, we got Minneapolis in the house. Jim, what's going on, man? Like I said, if you have just joined us, make sure to drop where you're joining from so I know who is here. And yeah, you guys like, why wouldn't they put this in the networking thing? This does not make a ton of sense to me that like the networking thing wouldn't have the people that are actually live, but hey, it's LinkedIn, so they do what they're going to do. So make sure if you're ready to jump in, if you can, pull up the link that I just sent you there. Marketing team took a long time to put these together, and we're going to jump in. So first use case for managers, here we go, is onboarding. So a lot of you, it used to take, it's so funny. I talk to sales leaders, and how many of you can relate to this? You can, drop a, I don't know what you would call that technically, a smiley face or whatever it is. There's like this make believe 3 months to ramp a new sales rep. It's like everybody I talk to is like 3 months. How long does it take? Oh, 3 months, like, which is completely arbitrary. If your onboarding plan is 3 months, you can raise your hand or laugh. But I am telling you with ChatGPT, and why? Let's talk about why this mythical 3 months came about. Okay, it took time to get at bats, right? It took time. I got to book a certain number of meetings and have enough conversations to where I'm like, okay, I kind of get it now. I get what resonates with this persona. I kind of get how we solve for certain challenges, etc. And so I think because there was this big kind of time to get up to speed on things, onboarding kind of felt like it always would take more time. But my friends, with ChatGPT, I kid you not, right? I am very, very confident here that if you implement even a fraction of what I'm going to talk to you about, what's going on, Tom? What's going on, Lisa? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. If you take a fraction of the time, okay, to implement what I am talking about in your sales onboarding, I genuinely believe that you can ramp salespeople in like a month on even products that are more complex, because it will allow them to get up to speed on your products, your services, and specifically the industry, right? And so here's an example of one. And again, keep in mind, this is a really basic prompt, okay? So I'm going to drop the prompt in here for you. And again, if you're like, well, Jake, where would I get started? It's like, you could just go to ChatGPT and ask. You can say, hey, here's a link to my company. Here's a link to our solutions page. Here's a link to, or maybe, here's our buyer persona documents. Help me to build a onboarding schedule that would help to ramp my team 5 times faster. And ChatGPT will tell you how to use it to do that. So this is a really good one for a lot of you to just get started on. I'm a big fan of, I add in a lot more to this. So this is kind of a good, Tom says, to public ready. Yeah, Tom's listening. But again, I think for a lot of you, just understand that it's really about helping your team get up to speed on the space they sell into, not usually the product. And that's the gap that I see, is a lot of onboarding plans aren't designed to help people to get up to speed on industry trends and what's happening. Not just, you've heard me talk about it, I call it the triad, which is the industry that company is in. Let's call it industrial manufacturing. The role in that industry, let's call it a VP of operations, and then how we solve for trends for that role in their industry, right? That is something that used to take a lot of intuition, a lot of time. Now with ChatGPT, I can just bake that learning. And again, I'm going to talk about role plays. I'm going to talk about some other things as well too. Number 2, so onboarding, and a lot of the things I'm going to talk about later, also you'll see really quickly how applicable they are to onboarding. So number 2, what's up, Greg? Good to see you as usual, man. So this one is a great one. Again, this one's a very basic one. I want you to think the prompts that I'm adding in here, my friends, like in order to make them even better, you can just say like, give it more links to your product pages, etc. Uh, or like other pages or documents that you might have. This is a really basic one. So the second one here is knowledge. Okay, knowledge assessment. I love, and again, in your onboarding plan or working with a new rep or other of these people, um, I love this idea of using it to create quizzes. Whenever me and KD, if you all don't join me and KD every other week, we've got some pretty cool stuff in the works that he and I are working on. We had a chance to finally catch up this week and or last week, and so we actually got a lot of cool new things you're going to see from me and KD, probably October timeframe, maybe late September. But that's AI Unleashed. So if you're somebody who loves to just geek out on AI, um, you should definitely join us. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'll drop the link in here. It's every other Wednesday. Let me drop the link for it for you in here. AI Unleashed. Here it is. Sign up. Look at that. Perfect. What's going on, Jennifer? Brooklyn in the house. I miss Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn for 5 years. So let's jump into the knowledge one. I'm too busy copying and pasting links here. Create quizzes, right? KD and I, that's how I got sidetracked. KD talks about this a lot, is that you want your team to use ChatGPT to get ahead, source the answers, move faster, but you also want them to retain the knowledge, right? And so that's where this knowledge assessment, the quizzes and things like that really come in, is tell it to just create a quiz. I do this all the time. Like, okay, great. Hey, just you want so and so to get up to speed on, like, let's say your products. Do you know that you can literally? I want you all to just go. You can go try this right now. You could literally go to your website, grab the link to like your solutions page, or if you have like multiple, just grab all the links and just say, go ChatGPT, using these links, I am a new salesperson at this company, or I want to get better at selling this product to this persona, and here's what it is. Generate a 20-question quiz for me by asking one question at a time, then giving me the answer and give me the next question. That will help me to get better up to speed on what we do on terms of trends that we solve for that industry, right? And boom, you can create a knowledge, knowledge in real time. Ruby says AI Unleashed is great. Thank you, Ruby. I appreciate that. So that's number 2, knowledge assessment. Again, you'll see all these are kind of are intertwined a little bit. And if you haven't, just so you know, if you're like scrambling to write down the prompts or follow along, I shared a document earlier in the chat that you can just go and access, and it has all these prompts too. So that's easy enough. But I like to just share the prompts here too if you want to see them. Okay, so then the third use case, I realized I wasn't numbering these, but I'll just call this third use case, is around personal professional development, we'll call it. And this one is one that I love. I love this one. Because what I see, look, sales leaders are busy, okay? Sales leaders are busy. They've got a lot on their plate, and it can be very difficult to build customized personal journeys for every single, salesperson. And so if you're somebody who knows that, here's something that, Jake needs to work on, right? Calls with potential clients are familiar. They find it challenging to address objections on the spot, right? So Jake needs to work on objection handling. ChatGPT can literally create an 8-week training program. And again, it will create the agendas for you. It will create the talk tracks for you. It will do all of this for you. And so, for me, it's like, think about your life cycle as a seller. In the onboarding, it helps me to get up to speed much, much faster, right? In the middle of in like, as I'm getting up to speed further, I can use these knowledge assessments and quizzes to make sure that I'm retaining the knowledge. And then I can, once I start to realize things are going well or I need to work on, I can then build a professional development plan for myself, right? And I'm telling you, this works so well. we use this in our consulting as well, but then an expert comes in and fine tunes it. And that's going to be the gap here, right? The gap in the future for a lot of you from a workforce standpoint is going to be, look, everyone is going to figure out how to do what I'm showing you right now, right? It's back in the day whenever Google Boolean searches some of you might not even remember that, where you had to learn how to use like stars and quotation marks and other stuff like that. Um, were always really important. That's kind of what it means to like be really good at like the prompting side of this, because a lot of people get good at the prompting side, but what they won't be able to do is customize it the way that an expert can customize it. And so what I mean by that is, it will spit out your training program, right? We just did this for one of our clients too. We're building out a reinforcement plan for a deployment we're doing. And so it's like, cool, ChatGPT, we can feed it the things, it will build out a V1, and then we spend hours making it amazing. Instead of hours documenting V1, you spend hours making it V3. So when you use this professional development one, you don't just copy and paste and start executing. You literally don't do that. You then go and do your own expertise as a part of it. All right, last but certainly not least. So to recap, onboarding, no-brainer, use case, knowledge assessment, go deep, learn the things, ongoing skill development, personal training, right? These are three of my favorites. And now let's talk about number 4. And this is a long ass prompt, okay? So I'm not going to copy and paste it into it's like I said, it's in that knowledge doc, so you have it. So, but number 4 is role playing. A couple of really, 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 really cool things I want to call out about role playing. If you're somebody who's already paying for and using our custom GPTs, which all of you should be, they are like shortcuts. They're like cheat codes for all of these, and I will drop the link for those if you haven't signed up. But why I'm going to bring this up is with custom GPTs, which are basically GPTs that prompt you. The mobile app experience is absolutely bonkers. Meaning, like for those of you who don't know yet, there's on the mobile app, there's this little, let me just pull it up that we've got help me book a meeting with here. So there's these little headphone icons right here, okay? And that actually allows you to literally talk to it. So what you do is you pull up your favorite custom GPT, like help me book a meeting with, right? Discovery Call Prep is also another one of our most popular custom GPTs. And then all you really have to do is you can just go back and forth with it. So it already knows. It's like, okay, there's one, and we actually have one of the custom GPTs called Demo Roleplay. We have another one called Discovery Roleplay. And so what you can literally do is stress test things, right? So this prompt goes something like this, like analyze this recent sales interaction. You can just give it a copy of your call transcript. I'd like to understand alternative responses to this point. Here's some examples. My goal is to secure a follow-up meeting, and then struggle point is navigating a lack of commitment, right? And there's more to this prompt, right? Recreate that part of the client interaction with me, simulate a role play with me, and provide feedback on my role play. The other thing I tell it is to be a very difficult customer, because I'll tell you, ChatGPT by default is very nice and doesn't really mimic some sales scenarios because it is like nice. It's too nice. So you can literally have it make you better, like almost immediately. So just think about that use case. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, like shrinking. This chair will not stay up sometimes. So this role play one is just awesome. The fact that you can do it now with video, or I'm sorry, with voice is it's just awesome. It's like you can just go back and forth. Like I've got people I'll talk to, like our Discovery Call Prep one, for example. I'll have people tell me, they're like, dude, I literally am like, I push the custom GPT Discovery Call Prep. It says, I click, I'm ready to get started. I then just hit the headphones. I'm like, yeah, the company I'm meeting with is Okta. They sell this. I think they sell this type of product. Give me my prep sheet. And then boom, it just spits out your like the best Discovery Call Prep. So if you're not getting involved with the voice stuff, it's so awesome. It's just great as a part of it. So yeah, we've got a couple extra questions that have come in too that I'm going to take as a part of this that I think could be really interesting for you all as a part of this. So the first one that I got question here was, okay, how could an increase use of ChatGPT among sales managers impact the effectiveness of communication between sales managers and their team members? So I'm going to give you 2 very specific use cases for why managers should be using ChatGPT on a daily basis to work with their team. Number 1, I already gave you, which is customized personal development plans. There is absolutely no excuse that every single person on your team shouldn't have their own personalized development plan. So what this will do is this will help you to effectively work with your rep. And again, then you all have a roadmap, right? Then you all have a roadmap. So it's like, hey, in our one-to-one, we already know what we're working on. So you can show up more prepared, etc. And that actually goes to number 2. The other way that every leader should be using this is to stress test difficult conversations. I do this, just so you all know. If I have a difficult conversation coming up, I'll talk to a peer or somebody, if it's easy. If not, I'll just type it into ChatGPT and I'll say something like, hey, I've got a conversation. This is what I'm nervous about. What are the top 3 things I should make sure to focus on and 2 or 3 things to avoid? So it makes the quality of my conversations like way better because I'm like, oh yeah, shit. Like, don't be, make sure to let them talk first, or you know what I mean? Like, whatever the thing is, that's what's really good at, right? Uh, I give it 18 months until we realize no team needs sales managers. I actually think a little bit different. I'm with you, Greg. I actually think what it will mean is that one sales manager can manage like 30 people, you know, um, because, yeah, in an ideal world, that's probably what they could do. So those are my top 2 use cases for manager rep interactions. Since we got a little time before my company all hands, what challenges do you see sales managers facing when overseeing the implementation and monitoring of these tools and other AI tools within their team? So, the number one, this is a cheat code for everybody. The most important thing I can tell you about ChatGPT and generative AI is this one thing. Don't think of it as generative AI or chat, whatever it is. Okay. Instead, I want you to think of it as what are the 2 use cases that I'm going to have my team start utilizing it for right now? Could be discovery call prep. It could be this. So don't try to roll out chat, like, don't just roll it out as this platform. Say, great, hey, for my sales team, we are focused on using it these 2 ways, and nail those 2 ways. Prep and research, annual report analyzer, all the different things we have in our own custom GPTs. So that my biggest piece of advice: pick a couple of use cases to deploy. Don't make it about this really big, what do you call it, deployment here as a part of it. So that's what I got today. Ooh, Randy's sneaking one in here. I love it. All right, so Randy's sneaking in a question here that I think I've got a couple minutes. I've been struggling to use ChatGPT analyzing my team's sales notes through Salesforce. Love it. I'm trying to tease out information from meetings that can be used from our product and research teams. Any thoughts on prompts? Yeah, I don't know what the prompt is that you're using it for. ChatGPT does really well with data that is ugly and unstructured, etc. It can do better if the data is somewhat structured. So I would just make sure that the prompts that you're using, one, I might even create a little custom GPT for this, Randy, where I would program it on the custom instructions to say, like, look, you are the head of product and research at this company, and this is what we sell, this is what we do. The way that we like to understand research is in this format. It's a header, 4 bullets, whatever, grouping themes, give me the count of that theme, and do this. Now, here's a dump of 100 notes. Categorize all these notes in an Excel sheet and send it back to me. So, Randy, my guess is you either need to write a much longer prompt or build a little custom GPT. We actually just built one of these for one of our clients. That's around. It's actually kind of similar to this use case, but it's not for product feedback. It's actually, they have a channel partner-led sales motion, and they're trying to get up to speed on the interactions they've had with partners and potential upsell opportunities. So that's what I would do, Randy. Is I would probably look at the prompt. You could feel free to DM me. I could have Brian see if it's something we could help you guys with too, to just do it automatically. But yeah, it's a lot of this is about prompting. So for a lot of this, if you're not getting the answer you want, it could just be like the quality of the prompt just needs to get more specific. So that's what I got, everyone. That's what I got. Happy Monday. Hope this is helpful for everyone. From what I can see, a lot of great interaction here. Again, if you're someone who is a sales leader, go share this with your other sales leader peers. Like, these are things that will change your life. Like that is why this shit is so important, and why I keep talking about it is, guys, this is not like a better tool or technology. When you know how to use these tools the way I'm teaching you, it's going to change your life. Your life, you know? Um, so Randy, I appreciate you trying, man. I appreciate it. So that's what I got, everyone. Happy Monday. Have a great rest of your week.